the 420, damn it.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
You like music, you like weed, well, we gonna be good friends indeed. This is how much I like more than smoking trees. They'll make you dance the do-si-do and teach you how the chiba grows. Smoke a bowl on the 420 radio show. On Lifestyle Radio.
Puff, puff, pass.
Whoa, you're fucking me up, Al.
I'm sorry.
You're on the opposite side of the screen now.
Aww.
Or is it the edibles?
I think it's the edibles, man.
Okay, cool. I'll just sit here and roll.
All right. This is the 420 Radio Show. We're live here at 420radio.ca. Okay, I'm done.
You're done. You're done. That's it. That's it for the show. Everybody go home.
I go back to my Chinese food. What's for dinner? What are you guys eating? What do you have for dinner?
I had KFC.
My wife made me a delicious oven sub.
I had Chinese food, although I almost went to A&W to try their new prime rib burger.
They're better than Ever Burger or whatever.
But then I looked at the menu on what is on it, and it's got fried pickles, battered pickles, and
deep fried pickles are awesome, man.
No, I'm not a pickle.
Don't knock it until you try it.
I've tried pickles up, down, wazoo, and I don't like pickles. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Have you tried them deep fried?
I've tried them most ways. Yes. No.
Do you like cucumbers?
No.
Oh, well, then you'll never like pickles.
That's right. I don't like the flavor of cucumber pickles, things like that. And I wasn't too fond of what was in the, garlic sauce.
Oh, they're garlic. Is it like a garlic aioli, Al?
Yeah, it's an aioli, yeah. So I changed my mind. So if you've tried one, let me know.
I'm not a big A&W fan.
I don't like their fries. That's the main reason I didn't go there.
Yeah, I don't like their fries.
They're crusty fries.
I don't like their fried onions.
I don't like anything really. I mean, their Papa burgers are pretty good, but you know.
No, if I get a burger from there, it's usually the Uncle Cheddar Bacon Burger.
That's like a Baconator, right?
No, it's like a big fat patty with bacon and cheddar cheese on it.
I'd rather go to fucking Burger King.
I like Baconators.
I like Baconators. I like the Dave Singles, but
I love Burger King, but
I prefer McDonald's French fries though. Sometimes I will even go from one place to the other to get fries.
Now I had fries at KFC tonight, but of course there was gravy, so I mean
the fries aren't the same. I miss the steak fries from KFC. The steak fries and their gravy. Oh,
yeah.
Anyways, what did you have? What did you say you had, Darcy?
My wife made me a delicious oven sub.
Oven subs are good.
Yeah, she made a really good one though. It was delicious actually. I got the other half out there, but I'm gonna save it for my lunch tomorrow.
I was gonna say, you were whining about me bringing you a sandwich. You've got one.
Yeah, now.
If I brought you a sandwich, you'd turn around and not eat your wife's.
Oh, that sounded really bad.
I know for a fact that you would not eat your wife's sandwich, that you would eat mine.
That you would eat mine. I would just eat that one tonight.
Yeah, or throw it away, or
no, I'd eat it tonight.
Else.
Now I got to go make something later here when I'm done the radio show before I go to bed.
I have half of my Chinese food left. That will be after the show. I shared with my puppy.
I have my KFC left for lunch tomorrow.
Not for snack?
Nice. So while he's eating his oven baked sub, I'll eat my KFC.
Nice, Marcel. Yeah,
because I like it better when it's cold.
Yeah, well, I like it because the skin peels off it better.
Yeah.
Oh, look who's here.
I heard a bing. Oh,
hey guys.
It's Mr. Dale. Hey, now that he's here, we can talk about that whole thing.
Okay, so you got to come closer to the video there, Marcel, please.
Closer to the video.
Just come on now. Dale, you got to turn your video on for a minute, buddy.
I'm inside, dude.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We're trying to prove a point. He's going, fuckers. I'll just leave.
Just anything for a background. Doesn't matter because it's not what we're looking at.
That's not what we're looking at.
Well, I just turned my light off. My bedroom's messy right now. Hold on. I'm just trying to get arranged here.
Okay, now come on, Marcel. All right, we're having the bald show tonight.
Bald show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I am too.
We're all bald tonight.
All right, but there's a reason for this. Now I got to find it.
Now he has to find the article. Thanks for playing along, Dale.
So, according to a UK tribunal, calling a man bald is sexual harassment.
Oh my God, you're fired.
Yeah, a UK employment tribunal has ruled that calling a man bald constitutes sexual harassment in the workplace.
Oh, I don't mind if you sexually harass me.
That wouldn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I know. Talk about it. Come on.
This gets better. This remarkable decision was reached after electrician Tony Finn brought a complaint against the manufacturing firm where he had worked for almost 24 years. After a breakdown in workplace relations, Finn was fired from the British Bung Company in West Yorkshire. He claimed that his factory supervisor, Jamie King, sexually victimized him during an argument by calling him a bald cunt. Finn told the tribunal that he wasn't concerned with the use of the expletive, but he took offense to the comment about his appearance. Right? You can call me a cunt, don't call me bald. The panel of 3 men who presided over the hearing found that the complaint of harassment related to sex is meritorious because hair loss is more prevalent for men than women, and its use as an insult was aimed at violating Finn's dignity. It is difficult to conclude other than that Mr. King uttered those words with the purpose of violating Finn's dignity and creating an intimidating, hostile, degrading, humiliating, or offensive environment for him.
How much did he make?
I don't know. Let's see. Lawyers for the respondents argued that since women can also be bald, baldness should not be considered inherently related to sex. Pushing back the argument. Come on.
Let me ask a question. When was this article done?
It just came out yesterday.
So after the slapping?
No, it came out today.
So after Will
Smith? Oh, yeah.
After Mr. Smith?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
Now, so this is an article done because of that and because of baldness. This is what's brought that
What?
up.
No, it hasn't.
Sure it has.
No, it hasn't.
Yes,
he didn't like being called a bald cunt. I mean, call me a bald cunt. I'm going to be more offended that you called me a cunt than bald.
Yeah.
Because I'm not bald. I have short hair.
Yeah, you're balding. We all are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you're.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Dude.
Dude.
No, not with the amount of hair that was on the floor today.
Not with the amount of hair that's on the floor today.
I had to cut mine off. It was turning into dreads. So.
There. And I go back to Facebook, and the first thing I see is somebody with a haircut like me. I mean, we're out there. Wherever we are.
We're everywhere.
We're out there. Them.
We're those people.
All right, you ready, Darcy? No, I'm kidding.
Go for it. Actually, I am.
No.
Shut up!
No.
Guys are like kids.
LOL.
All right. What we got for cannabis news? Oh, I know some cannabis news.
I posted some stuff this morning.
I posted some stuff.
I know some cannabis news.
Okay.
Because remember I said a couple weeks ago about Thailand and their wonderful law of removing cannabis as a controlled substance, and it's free to be. Well, Thailand is going to gift 1 million free cannabis plants to households.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yep. So next month, the Thai government will distribute 1 million free cannabis plants to households across the nation. This move marks a new rule allowing people to grow cannabis at home.
Does it say how many that you're allowed to grow per home?
I think it said that they were going to be allowed to grow 6 or something like that. No, I don't think there's a limit as long as you're using it.
That's awesome.
That makes sense. I mean, why put the expense out to grow 35 plants if you're not going to use it?
Right, but yeah, I mean, because you don't want to sell it in Thailand. You chop your head off or something close to it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
You'd need insurance.
Yep.
They're not saying how many plants that they can have. But see, Canada could have done that. Yes, it's legal for you to grow at home, and we'll gift everybody 4 plants per household. Except in Canada, they would never do that because they would charge you $500 a plant. Do you remember that when they first come out with the clones? The LPs?
Yeah, they were ridiculous.
$750
in those little tubes
for one cutting.
Yeah,
for one cutting, $750. But then after you bought 4, you got a discount on them. Or
and that was through Health Canada, right?
Holy frick!
That was through Health Canada, right, Marcel?
That was through licensed producers.
Oh, it was through the beginning. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Health Canada has never supplied clones. They supplied shitty ass underground seeds,
ground weed
and stock.
Yeah, man, they ground up the whole plant for you right there.
Ground up the whole plant for you right there.
Oh, it literally was. The Prairie Plant Systems pot was putrid garbage.
They just stick everything but the fucking leaf in a grinder and then bag it.
No, I'm pretty sure the leaves were in there too.
Were they? Oh
yeah, the leaves were in there too.
I've tried it, and you know,
I've seen it, and I've picked out like bast fibers and hurd and things like that, and there's no way that should ever be in there. But if you're going to throw the whole plant in the grinder,
but they didn't know that back then, man.
Pardon?
They didn't
and charge you $5 a gram.
They didn't know that back then, Marcel.
Oh, they knew. If we knew, they knew. But greed is greed.
Is greed.
Okay, enough of that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like Ontario. Ontario hitting like 1,900 stores, and they've got stores that are closing and trying to sell because they can't make any money at it.
They've got legal stores that are beside not legal stores that are closing.
Yeah.
Which is fine by me because a store is a store to me. It don't matter if it has Ontario approved on it on the window or not to me.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Did you share the link yet?
No.
Okay, that's why I can't find it.
Would you like me to?
Yeah, because then I could share it, you know.
All right. Yeah, I forgot that part.
It just takes me a while to try and find shit now with Facebook changing again.
And now they're trying to do this meta business suite stuff, and it's like, how many places do I need to check shit? You know what I mean, Vern? Okay, where are we here? Here we are. 13 minutes ago, like that. We gotta go here. Share via here. Okay, there's for the Twitter people.
Twitter folk.
The Twitter folk. The tweeters, as I call them. They're tweeters.
Not tweakers?
No, tweeters.
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you doing, Darcy? Did any good news about your operation?
Yes, actually. Well, so far so good.
Awesome, buddy.
Yeah, so far so good. Nothing's been bothering me.
So you're not getting twinges as you were?
No, urine flow's better. Ha ha ha.
Oh, that too, eh?
Yeah. So
that's good.
Not pissing every 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that part of my life. It's already hard enough to piss as it is.
I hear you there, Al.
How's your flow, Marcel?
How's your flow going, Marcel? Yeah.
0 issues.
This is our new theme. How's your flow? I have to take Flomax to keep mine happy.
I had to take Flomax to keep mine happy.
Yep, I do. What? That'd be a good commercial.
Darcy just uses stones to flush everything through, and then he goes in for a tune-up.
Yeah.
So did they remove all the other crap too?
Well, the catheter I had in was a 3-way catheter, and when I come out,
all right, stop now. Yeah, we're done with this conversation.
I told him, I said I always wanted a 3-way, but not that way.
I bet you did.
So did you get the extra 2 inches that you were asking for?
No. Fuck's sake.
Don't you hate when that happens?
I do, because the anesthesiologist was laughing his head off, and then he put that mask on my face, and I said, ha ha, you can't trick me this time, but I know what's coming. He goes, what do you mean? It's just oxygen. Yeah. Light bulb.
That's like count back from 10. Yeah, I'm not even going to get to 8.
I love how they say it's just oxygen. Just oxygen, right? No, there's no medicine or anything else in that. Nope, not at all, because they already injected that into your arm.
So, and I had this conversation with Ira Price, the good doctor there. I had smashed up my hand on somebody's face, and their teeth broke all the blood vessels in my hand. So I had to have surgery. They rushed me from emergency into the operating room, and they were putting me down, and I was having trouble breathing. It's putting me to sleep. So they put stuff in my nose, and I said, "What is that, cocaine?" And he said, "Yep." And you know what? And then I was talking with Ira about it on his show a while ago, and they actually used a synthetic cocaine to open your bronchial tubes through your nose when they're putting in the hoses and stuff like that, so that you get good flow. But it's a synthetic, but it is a cocaine-like substance. I don't think they call it cocaine. Maybe. I don't know. You know who would know? Lennie. That's who would know.
We talked about this before.
Did we?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
You have to, now you as the listener have to go back through all the previous episodes to find which one.
Well, let's see. I haven't done a show with Ira in about 3 years, so have fun.
Yeah, okay. So there's your starting point sometime 3 years ago.
They're all on Facebook or on YouTube. Just look up the 420 Radio Show on YouTube.
They're on the tuber.
And there's probably close to or maybe over now 1,000 or so shows to go through. Not just ours. Any shows that we did with Al and Pace Radio and Ira and yeah.
I wonder if this is true. A bus driver in Paris kicked every single passenger off his bus after they failed to make room for a man in a wheelchair.
They fucking well should.
Just wait. He then asked the wheelchair man, or wheelchair-bound man, who has multiple sclerosis, to come on board and drove off with him as the sole passenger.
Yep, I get my own bus now, bitch. See, that's what you're being discriminatory.
Proper.
Mm-hmm.
So, how are you?
Did you see the... I sent some cannabis news to you guys through the week.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I sure fucking well did.
No, you did not.
No.
Oh, well, I'm going back to find it right now.
You go ahead and do
Then
that.
I'm going to prove you wrong.
Okay.
And then you're going to tell
Wasn't
me
news.
I was right for once, Marcel. It was news.
Well, there is actually some news that we can talk about. Marcel, do you have it all loaded up?
I have some here.
All right.
Wait, I'm scrolling back to find news at Darcy.
But the
Oh, yeah, Darcy put one up about the Victoria Cannabis Buyers Club. I'm sorry, Darcy, that we'd already talked about it the week before.
There was another one.
But that's what we were going to talk about now.
Yeah, we have a different one.
We have a video
Then
that
there
we're
was a
going to
link.
watch later, but
Then there was a link to something in Stupidville, USA.
Stupidville.
And, he shared the link about Thailand and the 1 million free plants.
Yeah, so, blah, blah, blah. Never mind. Thank you.
Yesterday, MJ had Panzerotti.
Yes, it was nice of her to share that.
Spinal Tap. Spinal Tap is coming up with a sequel to it's in the works with all the returning cast members that are still alive.
Oh, yeah, okay. I saw the video now that Darcy shared, Stupidville, USA. That was the lady using the fucking gasoline to clean off her headlights and everything.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
That was just, I don't know.
See something like that? Just flick a cigarette.
Okay, here's one. If you are a fan of Billy Hayes, there is a new book that he's got out now called Midnight Express Epilogue. Train Keeps a Rolling, and it's the behind-the-scenes truth. And you know what? I don't know if you knew this, Marcel, but that wasn't his first time when he got arrested.
Yeah.
And that was omitted from the movie.
Yeah.
He had been there several times before for the sole purpose of getting hash and bringing it back.
Right.
He just got caught. But he did really escape, and his story is real. But when they wrote the movie, the screenplay, they omitted the fact that he had done it multiple times because they didn't think that it would capture the moment as much of the situation.
Right. Well, the prison in the movie,
yeah,
with those nice high concrete walls and the triangular shards of glass embedded into the walls, that was right beside where I was in Cyprus. They filmed the movie there.
Okay.
And it's an actual working prison.
Still?
Yeah. Well, it was in the 80s when I was there.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, the walls were, I think they're 16 feet high concrete walls, and on the top where
shards of glass were embedded into the concrete.
Right, but they're all in triangles with the points pointing up. Right? Wow. So it's when you look at it, all you see is all these different colored glass points sticking up on top of this thing.
I've seen photos of stuff like that, out of the way prisons and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but,
this and the prison's right beside a Turkish training base.
And just down the road from the American embassy where he eventually went.
Yeah. Yeah, well, in the opposite direction. So on one side was the
now was
Turkish training camp, then the other side is the city of Nicosia.
And that's where he was actually imprisoned.
Yep.
So is where they shot the movie, is that where he was actually imprisoned?
Supposedly.
Wow.
Now, I was always told that it was in Turkey, but at that time, the border may have been that it was in Turkey.
I've tried to get him on the show because, we're friends on Facebook, and he's actually a member of the 420 radio page, which I thought was really cool. But I got tons of questions that I'd love to get answers to, just because the movie was so well done. It back then when the movie was as big as it was in the 80s, I guess it was, when the movie was as big as it was. It was a shock that somebody would go through something like that. It was done so realistically, right? But then, as I get older, I'm reading this, seeing clips, watching video about, conversation about the movie and the life and blah, blah, blah. And I was actually kind of like, oh, really? So he'd done that before, huh?
Yeah.
Because they don't broach that at all in the movie. If you've ever seen Midnight Express,
I like to smoke Midnight Express.
You what?
I like to smoke Midnight Express.
Is there a strain Midnight Express?
Yep, by Freedom Seeds.
Cool. So, anyways, the book
is it a hash plant?
Let me finish. The book is Train Keeps a Rollin', and it's Midnight Express, and it's on Amazon. Okay, so there you go. That's
Go
because
get your book.
I like the whole Billy Hayes story.
Get your book. What else we got here for news? Cannabis.
You'll get your book next week. Don't you fucking worry.
Yeah, Aurora Cannabis.
Who?
Aurora.
A who?
Aurora.
Don't even talk to me about them.
Come on now, Aurora. They're the up and coming awesome cannabis company.
Yeah.
They're closing down their 200-acre BC farm.
Yeah.
Didn't you pay for that?
Yep. But
Marcel?
$2.95.
Marcel.
Yeah.
I'll do it for you. Marcel, don't be a dick.
There you go.
That was dickish. I'm sorry, Al.
Yeah.
No, the 200-acre farm at Westworld is closing down.
That was one of the first cannabis, like legal cannabis farms to open in Canada. That size, anyways.
They can't, when the market's flooded with billions and billions of grams of cannabis, if it's mediocre pod, it ain't going to sell.
Well, hello, Mary Jane.
They closed it because Thrive Cannabis's location replaces the need for the Aurora Valley site.
What did you get? California?
Yep. How did you know?
I saw the MJ. Okay, we're going to sit here and watch Mary Jane eat a California sandwich and not
What's
get
a California sandwich?
Okay, so I'm
like
going to do a reveal, okay?
Oh, you're revealing enough, my dear.
What? That I'm eating in the car?
No. The camera is cleavage level.
Well, I'll have you know there's a lot more covered than there is uncovered.
We could toss French fries.
I want to know what's in this sandwich.
Okay, so
that's what I was wondering.
I know what's in that sandwich because I've been to this place with her. I know what she likes, and it's going to be.
I've been eating this since I was a kid. Okay.
It's going to be a veal parmesan.
This is the veal.
Oh yes. Isn't that what you got when we went? No, I know that's what I got.
Yeah, I always get the veal.
Well,
look at this.
We were there last year. Was it last year?
I got to make sure I don't drop this. Look at this.
I've done that before.
Okay, so it's a veal sandwich. Why is it called So California is the name of the store?
Yeah, California style.
It's the name of the franchise.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's a franchise.
Yeah, they started with one little store in the west end of Toronto, and every single California sandwiches is owned by somebody in the family because nobody knows what's in this sauce unless you're family.
Oh, somebody has a question for you, Marcel. Look at the screen.
Okay, I'm going to mute this so I can...
You enjoy.
We'll make sound.
Thank you.
It's on my head, Carla.
What's on your head?
My face.
His baldness. You have to shave your head tonight, by the way, Mary Jane, because all of us guys are bald.
I'm looking up California sandwiches.
I am bald.
Not talking. Yeah. You were just okay. I've had actual people tell me that I got a potty mouth when it comes to that girl. No, she's the one with the fucking potty mouth. Okay, she's got brothers. She's far worse than I am. Trust me. Should hear her in person. Speaking of in person, what time are you going down tomorrow?
I will be there all day.
All right. Save me a seat.
These are all like Italian sandwiches?
No. You can get you can get like deli stuff, but salads.
But they are all Italian.
Are they all
they
Italian?
Sell gelato. They sell olives. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't know it was Italian.
It's an Italian based sauce.
Look at
Bria. My mom loves
the
that
Italian
stuff.
pop. Did you know this shit is made from orange peels?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Didn't know that.
How come they only have provolone for a cheese? Why don't they have mozzarella?
Are we dissecting the California? What is it? California sandwiches website. We're going to dissect them.
Their menu.
No. I'm just looking at the menu and it shows all their toppings, and for cheeses it's only provolone.
Hey, Avril Lavigne.
Provolone's good cheese for a sandwich, but
I wonder where
there
she's
are
playing.
other cheeses.
I can't remember. I can't tell you. It doesn't tell you where she's playing.
What?
Avril Lavigne is playing tonight, and I can't see where. It's not saying where. There's just a sign that says she's playing tonight.
Did you know Shaw Claire's playing tonight? They're singing tonight.
Where at?
Euphoric.
Oh, cool. You know, I was impressed how good he was. You know, at Healing House.
Yeah, I was reliving my teenage years when I seen him.
Bet
perform.
you were. I was. In my teenage years, we had a young man called Devin who did a song called Mr. Metro and a few other songs about Toronto. And he was huge. He was, this is back, who else? Maestro Fresh West back then, before that, right? So it's nice to see some Canadian hip-hop artists coming back and kind of, you know, you don't hear much stuff from Bishop Beyonce anymore, and you know, the Toronto guys that were a part of the community in the 90s. Right?
Well, I mean, you do, depending on who you follow.
Yeah, well, I'm not into the Ends clothing, and that's all he does at the moment. So,
anyways, what's on the talking block for tonight?
not a lot. Just, you know, you're going to tell us what you saw down at Lyft.
Oh, I saw a lot of people I knew, a lot of people I didn't know.
Yes, of course you did.
I saw a lot of booths. I feel like the booths are more spread out. It's like most events that I've been to in the last little while. The crowd isn't as huge as it used to be, but people are still there.
Yeah, but today was mostly corporate, right?
No, it's industry day, so it's tomorrow.
Yeah. So the consumer day, meaning you and I. Well, I guess not me and you, but you know, the general public is Sunday, I believe. Is what they're calling consumer days, which is probably the day I'm going to go down.
Okay.
Are you going to be down there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're going to be at booth 0.
Yeah, just save me a seat. I'm going to need it.
There's no seats at booth 0 other than mine, and you can have mine. It's one of those fold out campers.
I will bring one.
Cool. Bring it. Park it.
Yeah. How much is parking down there this year?
I park across the street. Like literally, if you go where everybody's smoking and just park in that building across the street.
$25?
22.
Okay. It's like when I went to see James Taylor. I remember when my sister and I went to see The Who. It was good near $40 to park, but it was $30 across the street at the new CIBC building, across the street from the Scotiabank Center Arena. And I was in and out. I was in and out of there when I 15 minutes, and I'm used to 3 hours in lines trying to wait to get out of the building, right? In and out of there, zippity bippity. So we're watching Mary Jane. She's going, "You cover my camera now, okay?" You have a little something in your tooth.
Did she spill any of it?
No. Damn it.
Because you were going to reach for it, weren't you?
Yeah, Tim's got dibs, unfortunately.
Save sandwich pieces down there for Tim for later?
Timmy. Not
Timmy.
I have never met a man who wants to be called Timmy.
Well,
Tim.
If he had his way, he would be just like Madonna or Cher or Bono. He would just be Timmy.
Yeah.
Just Timmy.
South Park's got a character, Timmy, too.
I thought, Marcel, you took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Timmy! Timmy! Blue blobs, yeah!
When I hear Timmy, I think of Tiny Tim.
No, my mind went right to where Marcel's did. South Park, and the episode of when he was in the heavy metal band.
That was good too.
Yeah.
But him joining the Crips was good.
Yeah.
Because they're the true Crips.
Yeah. Oh fuck, that was funny too. I'm gonna watch South Park later.
I've watched them all from start to finish, every one of them.
I'm not into that at all.
Oh, I like South Park. I like Family Guy. I like American Dad. I'm
Well,
not keen on Bob's Burgers because I don't like that New York twang accent.
well, here's one coming up for you. They are praising the Bundys.
I saw that as an animated.
As an animated, and they are all coming back for it.
Well, yeah, they're all still alive, so why not?
So,
none of them have sexual assault charges or anything.
None of sexual assault charges.
They can all come back. Well, it's like the 70s show is coming back as the 90s show with all of the same cast, except for one.
Dan Matheson.
Yeah, Danny can't come and play.
I wasn't, you know what? I was never a big fan of him anyways, and his career is done, so, you know.
I liked him in the 70s show. His character, he played a good character for that.
I never got into the 70s show. I tried.
And he played a really good character on the ranch right up until they killed him off.
Yep, that over the bank.
Yeah, the ranch. Yeah, that was a good one. You know what I'm enjoying is Goliath, which is Billy Ray. Billy Ray? Is that his name? Billy Bob Thornton.
Never heard of the show
Goliath, yeah, he's a lawyer. And I'm into the 4th season now. I think that's what's up. I think.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Torrent site?
What?
From a torrent or?
No, from Prime. I'm like knee deep in Prime.
All right.
I got Stack TV and AMC so that I could watch Better Call Saul, and this fucking season is amazing, and I'm really upset it's the last one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
No, I got a ice cap, and I'm sitting here dying of thirst. This is like perfect timing. Yeah, you know, it's nice when you have kids show up and buy you a coffee. No, what was I going to say? No, I'm looking forward to the Munsters movie. That's the one I'm really looking forward to.
And Rob Zombie's directing it, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's his movie.
He's doing an amazing job with it. I'm following him on Instagram and Twitter. And
I haven't seen anything about it. So.
Oh, it's crazy.
He built a whole town.
Can you find a trailer or something, or some clips or something?
There isn't one yet.
Oh. I've seen a couple of articles about it. Excited to see it. Loved that series.
Pretty sure his wife is playing the
Morticia.
That's it. Yeah.
Morticia.
Why does that show sound familiar? Is there a guy with the bolts in the neck?
Yes, that's Herman Munster. Yeah.
Okay, I know that one. I was watching when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's a takeoff on Frankenstein. Right? Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a takeoff on
all of
kinds
them.
of
Yeah,
all of them. They got a whole wide range of characters.
Hey, Dale. A little tiny yellow bird with a black bottom. Is that a finch?
Finch.
That's a yellow finch.
That's just like little tiny yellow one just buzzing around the back here.
Get yourself some nitro seed.
Oh no, it's just at home. I'm not buying nothing.
Get yourself a pellet gun.
Fuck the city birds, man. I got my own.
That's what I say. City birds, they just got bird flu. Get a pellet gun.
They got bird flu.
I put a really big bag of wild seed out, and the last 2 days I had bunnies, a red squirrel, whole bunch of cardinals, white and red, blue jays, blackbirds, and then a big fucking raven comes along, plops himself right down in the fucking big pile, and is just. And then the fucking little squirrel just went up against toe to toe, chased him away. It was quite interesting to watch.
I have a nesting pair of falcons in the tree over on the corner. Yeah.
Cool.
And ask Dale about it.
Okay, Dale, we're asking you about it.
If fucking ear took his head off the other night.
Darcy and I were sitting out in the patio, and the blue spruce behind the patio there. There was a chickadee sitting out in a branch, and I couldn't hear anything. But then Darcy looked up. He said, "Move!" And then all you could hear was just whoosh, went right by, and there's a falcon come for the chickadee.
Some quick, aren't they? Did he get the chickadee?
No,
he missed.
He missed because he got in tight to the tree.
Yeah.
He heard him. He must have heard him coming. He got in tight to the tree, and he didn't realize how close the house and the fucking tree was. And then there was Dale, me, and then another shrub, and he made a big S circle, just like a big figure.
I watched them at my place too. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I've got hawks, ravens, and osprey to watch do shit like that. And the osprey, they'll come swoop down, grab a dog, and just take off. They're
what?
Ospreys.
Ospreys are fish hawks. They come down and take the fish out of your pond.
They take any kind of small animals. They're like
I've never
eagles.
seen any osprey around here that would ever. Eagles are big enough to take a dog.
Eagles are much bigger than an osprey, but ospreys are like your Canadian eagle, eh?
Your Canadian eagle.
When the mackerel run, we see ospreys.
Yeah,
we see a lot of them.
Yeah,
and an osprey has a hell of a fight to get a 2-pound mackerel out of the water.
Yeah, he'll lay on top of that water for 5 minutes.
So it must be the hawks that are dive bombing the little birds then.
Yes.
Hawks and kites.
Yeah.
You're in Ontario, so you have likely I think 23 or 24 different predatory birds.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, well, I believe we do have bald eagles up here, just not a lot. And they would be closer to the border too, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we have tons of eagles down here in Nova Scotia.
Okay.
Like Nova Scotia is just full of bald eagles. Actually, we can sit in our living room, look out the window, and we can see 2 bald eagles that fly over the marsh every day.
I watch the big birds all the time. They've got the big towers up there for them and everything. Yeah.
They put nests up for them, eh?
They put the boxes
so they don't nest on power lines.
Yeah, they put them on poles. They just put a nesting perch, right?
Yeah,
and
they
they're
try
huge.
to do that. Yeah, they do that to try to discourage them from nesting on.
That's why they do it.
Yes,
all the time. I never understood. I'm like, they just put a box up there.
No,
they trying to discourage the predatory birds from going near the power lines because one is killing the decline, and 2, it will also affect people, so then they get rid of it that way too.
Yeah, that's what they. And if you drive towards Woolworth, Workworth, from Hastings, going over towards Campbellford, and you'll see there's a plateau there for the birds. And then there's a few going up towards Peterborough as well.
Right. So there's one on the back road by where Timmy lives, and we used to do walks at nighttime around his town. Okay, so he took me down this one road, and I'm telling you, it's sterling. It's fucking pitch black. There's no street lights.
Yeah.
I don't even know why. We don't have flashlights. I'm like, why are you walking out here? It's fucking animals and shit. Where's your protection? Anyways, all of a sudden he's like, oh yeah, wait till we get down here. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you'll see. Then we get down there and I hear this weird sound and you can hear it. It's doing circles around you because it's checking to make sure that you're not a threat. Because it had like eggs in the friggin' nest.
You'll see if as you're driving along, if you look at those plateaus on the poles, you'll see if there's a big nest every now and then, you'll see a head pop up. You'll see the little guys pop up. Right?
Yeah, well, the mom would just circle, make this weird sound, and I'd be like, oh my God, what is going on? Why are we walking this way?
When is egg season? When do they have their babies? Now or in the fall?
Bald eagles have their babies in February.
In February.
They start laying their eggs in February.
And then they're born when?
Now, and they'll be starting to fledge them here in another week or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're a big bird, so they got to have their eggs early so they can get them out of the nest and fledge before fall.
And tell me something, Darcy, because you're a hunter, you would know these things. Why am I only now seeing? Why are we echoing? Oh, because Mary Jane's in the car. Why am I only seeing rabbits now?
Me too, eh?
What do you mean now?
Well, you didn't see them all fall because they were gone, and I understand what you're saying.
I've seen the 2 days. The last 2 days, I've seen rabbits around, and I haven't seen them this year at all.
Well, the drive that I take to my buddy's place every day, I'm driving up a dirt road, and all winter I hunted that dirt road and never seen a rabbit, barely seen any tracks. And now that it's spring, I've seen like 15 rabbits on that road. And I'm like, where did all these rabbits come from? They weren't here at all winter, and now all of a sudden they're all back.
Well, I'm assuming, okay, that it's because the mom and dad, they come out and check things before the babies are out of the nest, right?
Well,
and the babies would be coming out of the nest like they'd be born next month, right?
No, now they'd already have a litter now.
Okay,
I had rabbits all winter. They made like paths across my backyard.
There were no. It's weird. Okay, I went up in. When did I go up? Beginning of April, and there are no signs of rodents, meaning mice, anything at all until last. Maybe Wednesday this week, the rabbits started appearing, and the squirrels and the birds and everything. It's just like they all just disappeared. Right? Now, could that be because they put a fence line? They put fence poles in down our property line? And they used a pounder? Would that upset the balance of the area and scare all the... No, I didn't think so.
No, I just think that they went away. Well, in the winter they just kept hugged tight because, well, they know there's not so many of them left around, I guess. But you got to remember, it's not just the predators that control your rabbit population. It's the trees that control your rabbit population.
Kenneth Rosen says that Joe Biden is destroying America. Yeah.
Hey, Kenneth, we got our own problems here north of the border with Trudeau.
The WEF is destroying the entire planet, so...
Jump on our board. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. Peace, love, and hippie shit.
That's funny.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I seen a crazy product at Lyft today.
Yeah? I'm going to walk around when I'm there. I'm going to walk around on the live thingy there.
Well, you might not find them. They're off in the back corner. You know how they like to stick some of them in the back corner. This is one of their products. It's a one. I say that one of because there's different sizes.
It's a bag.
It's a bag, but it's humidity proof and it actually cures your cannabis. They said no burping, no Bovita packs, no humidity packs. Sorry.
So they've built something into it.
It's the technology and the layering in the packaging, and I'm like, okay, I call bullshit on this because how is that possible? But, as I'm feeling the inside of the bag, it feels different. It definitely is a different material.
You know what I might suggest, Marijane, is throw a few nugs in there and see if they stay nice and nice.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that with my homegrown that I'm about to harvest. So that way I can test it out. Because I was like, I don't know about that. You're telling me that actually.
Was it very corporate? Are there any of us there?
Yeah, as soon as you come up, you see High Canada Magazine.
Of course, yeah, but he doesn't sell anything weed related. He just advertises it.
And there are some people actually selling some things, which was interesting. No cannabis, of course.
Yeah.
Like
bongs and stuff.
Did you get to meet up with Jason from Floramax, MJ?
No.
Okay, because he's going to be there. I thought Ken was going to arrange for him so you can get your nutrients.
Okay. Well, we'll be outside.
They want to find them on the inside. Are they having a booth? Do they have a booth at Lyft?
No.
Oh.
Maybe that's why I didn't see that.
Don't quote me, but I think their first show in North America is going to be MJ BizCon.
Oh, yeah?
I think, yes.
And this was interesting to me, too.
What is this?
Why?
Advertised as the world's first 1-part nutrient system specifically formulated for autoflowers.
That's different.
Yeah.
Once again, I was going to call bullshit until they got to the autoflower part, and I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense, because I don't think anybody's doing that yet.
No, but you could do the same thing with your Floramax, though.
I'm like, isn't that the same as regular plant food? I'm a little confused.
Well, yes. They likely tweak a few things in there because autoflowers only have really a 3-week veg. Well, I call it a veg cycle because once that seed pops out of the ground and ain't a seedling, it's right off to the races into veg. So you got that 3 weeks, and then you got the 2-week interval into flower that you don't want to start feeding flower nutrients. You still want to feed veg nutrients to it. So there might be something in there that's a little higher nitrogen count, maybe.
Okay.
But it's a 1-part nutrient.
Yeah.
Sad.
They could be feeding a little more nitrogen, Marcel.
But would they still be feeding that same high nitrogen during flowering?
If they off balance it with high, that'd be a hard one.
Yeah. Think about it. So
no, that would be a hard one.
Because during the veg cycle, all you really need is the nitrogen
and phosphorus, because that's helping keep your plant in check.
So any potassium or anything like that's going in isn't being utilized by the plant, or isn't utilized by the plant at the rate that it would be being fed.
During flower, yes.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
I could see a 1-part for veg, and then in 4 weeks, 5 weeks, switch over to another 1-part.
It's a Bonnie and Clyde. Okay.
You can talk.
What's the numbers on it, MJ?
Bonnie is. Oh, here we go. Wait.
654.
They name them girls' names.
What's the bottom one? 3 6. Basically reverse, Marcel.
That's why?
They basically reverse their numbers from jug to jug.
Oh yeah.
Nitrogen was 4.
So it is a 1-part, but it's for for flowering and for veg.
Yeah, so you got a Bonnie and a Clyde, so they're both the same. You feed them both, like this one I would feed right up until my plants started to flower, and then you'd start feeding the Clyde.
Yes.
Or opposite way, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you got 6 5 3 6 5. So yeah, it's just
okay. Well, I mean that's a good marketing ploy to say that it's specifically for autoflower, but literally you could do that with flower enhancer and veg 1.
Yep.
Right?
Throw in a little bit of Organobud in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it might be great.
Oh, yeah, I'd definitely try it.
Shout out to these two ladies. They're awesome. They're high ladies.
They're high ladies. Well, are they ever not high?
I don't know. And and I got this stuff too.
What's that? Oh, Toro Cannabis sheets.
This is what I'm excited about. The genetics.
Hey, never mind. I wish I could say something.
Shut up, Darcy.
I know.
Yeah.
And of course,
maybe MJ, when we're not on air, we're having a chat, I'll let you in on a secret.
No. That guy's laugh is hilarious.
That's me every time.
What time is it anyways?
It's time to go.
We've been here for an hour.
Yep.
Is it already 8?
Almost, yep. We're going to take a break and come back, and then we're going to talk about what's going on with Ted Smith and watch a little video.
Yeah.
And Darcy is going to do his grow thingy when we come back.
What's a grow segment on tonight, Darcy, just so I can, fire up some questions?
I'm going to leave you in suspense until I start.
Until he figures it out.
Okay.
No, I was already thinking about it. Me and Al already talked about it.
You and what?
Me and Al already talked about it.
About what you're going to talk about?
No, that I'm going to talk. I wanted to talk early before I got too stoned, and I wouldn't want to talk.
Well, you would be talking anyways.
You don't really?
Whether you want to or not. Come on.
Hey, this is Cheech. And this is Chong. And you're listening to Lifestyle Radio. What is it? Lifestyle Radio. Say it one more time. 420 Radio? Woo!
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Are you an independent musician? How would you like to have your songs played on hundreds of radio stations just like the one you're listening to right now? Join MusicSubmit.com and we'll promote your music to radio stations and blogs in your genre. It's free to set up your account, and we guarantee your music will be considered for airplay by radio stations worldwide. Why not sign up today? It's free. MusicSubmit.com. Radio promotion for indie musicians.
This is how it grew to be.
And he leaves. Everybody left.
Oh, I'm here.
Darcy leaves. We go to do his segment thing, and then he leaves.
Yeah, well, he probably thought, we were going to have 20 minutes, but you said we were going to be talking about Ted Smith and stuff.
Yep. So, hold on.
Here's your reminder. Hey, Al, take your pills.
Thank you, Alexa. Now shut up.
Okay, wait, no. Now, let's make sure you take the pills.
I already took them. I took them with my dinner.
The reminder's there for a reason. Now do it.
Shut up.
Come on.
Okay, so Thursday, May 12th.
No, Dale, we did not hear about that.
Well, what?
The BPD, Vancouver Police Department, raided...
I'm trying to open my fucking mouth here.
We don't want you to. We're trying to take over the show.
Okay,
yeah, we were going to talk about that.
Yeah, I've got a video clip of of Ted Smith actually talking about the Victoria Buyers Club stuff. And also, as you mentioned, the CSP, Cannabis Substitution Project
program or project.
Where they had their RV raided. The RV that Neil has been on our show while he was in it. They walked up and shut him down. Now, these folks have been doing a substitution program with cannabis for many years, like we did in Hamilton as well. Neil was the one that spearheaded it up here in Canada, and now Chris Backer is doing it in Nova Scotia as well. Yep. As I believe that there's a few going on, as well as one starting in Toronto, I believe.
So very likely one of the dispensaries, the
Yes.
legal dispensaries in Vancouver,
called and complained.
Complained and had him raided.
Or somebody that they parked in front of, or cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's stupid, because the cops are only going to bother when somebody complains.
People don't realize how much cannabis is helping those who have addiction problems. We went from having a handful of people come into the lounge once a week for a couple of doobies and maybe a cookie to 250 people in a lineup waiting for, sometimes we didn't even have enough. And Neil and his crew and Chris and their crew and the countless other people out there that are doing this for people are doing it of their own volition. They're not selling pot. They're not selling drugs. They're giving people an alternative to using opioids or getting off of opioids. I have a friend who, because of procedures that he's had over a lifetime, is on very high levels of morphine, and he's trying to wean himself down by using cannabis. And there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. And now we're finding that the shrooms are aiding in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You catch the pain level. You get the pain stuff going with the cannabis, and then you use the brain stuff with the mushrooms. You combine them together, and you got a less frazzled person. What's wrong with that?
And the other thing is the CSPs that they're doing. They're all done by donation.
Yeah, they don't charge a thing.
No, so it's other patients in the community that are supplying CSP with products.
That's right.
To take out
as sponsors and donations and all that kind of stuff. Chris takes it to the next level. They do sandwiches, they have soups, they have stews, they have all kinds of stuff. They get donated, and then they make stuff themselves.
Yeah,
so,
he tries to make a half decent meal for them.
We would take 3 days to prepare everything to give away on one day.
Yeah, yeah. Chris is probably taking closer to a week.
Yeah, well, he's also doing much more with it. We had
he's doing a lot of it by himself.
We had some pre-rolls, some cookies that we would make, and then we'd have some gummies or something that was donated. It wasn't much, but I mean, people were coming up from the tent communities down in the ravines in Hamilton, and specifically coming up to see us to have a cup of coffee and maybe get a cookie and smoke a joint with some other people of the same like mind, and it helps. Yeah. You may think, oh, what's one fucking joint a week going to do to help somebody? Somebody who has nothing, a lot.
We're actually in Ottawa. I got flown up to Ottawa to do some speaking. I was supposed to go on Power and Politics, but the wonderful health minister backed out after she found out what it was about. But we were at a fundraiser, and we were outside having a puff, and a young fella come up, and he was asking for change. And somebody said, well, what do you want the change for? He said, I just want to try and get enough so I can buy a gram of weed.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, why would you want a gram of weed? He said, because it helps me sleep. He said, I sleep outside. He said, I don't have a place to live. He said, and it actually helps me sleep. That boy left with probably 1.5 ounces of pot. because everybody there, as soon as he said he was using it because it helped him sleep, everybody was handing him pot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he's looking at it and he starts crying. And he said, this is probably enough to last me a month. So, well, party on, dude.
I've been in those, when I lived up north there in Durham, there were lots of times when if it wasn't for my buddy who lived upstairs or Michael that does the covered radio show coming over and smoking a couple of joints, I wouldn't have had any. And so, I mean, I can remember going days without, and then somebody comes over, smokes a joint, and you're just like, oh,
relief.
It's some who don't partake may call that an addiction. And if that's what an addiction feels like, okay, if it makes me feel better, I don't give a shit what you want to call it.
Exactly, Al.
That's
one thing I can never see anyone go without, especially when they're using it for medicine. It's different if you were using... sorry, I'm going to rephrase that. If I know you have a medical license and you're using it for medicine, I'll definitely help you out. Even if you're not, I'll still likely help you out, but likely just not as much. I'll give you enough for a couple joints, but if you're medical, man, like, here's some gummies, here's some capsules, here's a little bit of rosin, here's a little bit of dry flower, like whatever works for you best, here you go, kind of deal, right? So,
well, even I'll go as far as somebody who gives somebody who doesn't have any cannabis, even a jar of roaches, is a lifesaver.
Oh yeah.
Just because if that's all you've got, I mean, I don't mind roaches. I quite enjoy a roachy in the morning. It just wakes you right up. I smoke them
all in my bong now.
Well, I was just going to ask you, how Dale, do you partake in roaches?
I don't do joints so much anymore.
I was going to say, I don't think that I've never seen Dale smoke a joint.
Really?
Dale, we talked about this. Dale doesn't know how to roll a joint.
I can't roll a very good joint now.
Really? Well, I guess you won't be joining in our joint Olympics.
I'll teach Dale how to roll a joint.
They taught my wife. They can teach you.
Yep.
I want to get one of those old cigarette rollers from like the 50s and 60s.
I bought one of those for Lennie when we were at Lyft last time.
Did you? Does it work
either?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I'm
going to teach you how to roll. I'm going to teach you how to roll right now.
Raw type roller.
Let's see if I got to take my background off here. Hold
Can't even see you, Al.
Yeah, I got to take the background off here. All right, there we go. I got to angle it down a little bit more. There we go. Is that good?
Sure.
No, a little bit more. I'll just go like this. There we go. It's really dark, isn't it? There we go. Uh-oh. All right. Go ahead. Keep talking. So we were gonna talk about this Ted Smith thing here. Darcy is back. Do you wanna do your thing after or before, Darcy?
I'll do it whenever you want me to do it, Al.
Marcel.
Well, let's play the video. Let's talk about this and play the video, and then we can do the grow segment.
All right.
You've got the video loaded, right?
I do. I'm just sharing it here so that we can watch it.
Yeah. What it is Ted Smith basically.
You should be able to see that now. There you go.
Yeah.
How long is this, Al? Like 15 minutes, you said?
Yeah, it's about 15 minutes or so.
Perfect. So in about 5 minutes, I'm going to go pee.
All right.
So if you click on the video and then enlarge that video. Click it to play.
It is playing.
Okay.
I can see it. Playing.
Yeah, there's going to be some talk. There you go.
Victoria's meeting of Thursday, May the 12th. Before we begin this evening's meeting, I'd like to acknowledge that we are on the homelands of the Lekwungen-speaking people, known as the Songhees and Esquimalt nations, and that each meeting we do our work here as governors essentially on somebody else's homelands, and that we try our very best to understand what that means as we make our decisions to respect the Lekwungen-speaking people who have stewarded what is now our city for thousands of years. So I always like to begin the meeting with a heartfelt acknowledgement of their homelands and of them as people. We have an agenda here before us. It is a very short agenda this evening, but I will ask Mr. Kingsley if he could outline for Council any changes that there have been to the agenda since this agenda was published.
Good evening, Mayor Helps, members of Council. The only changed outline for Council and the public to the agenda is correspondence was added under item F1.
Thank you. With that change noted for the public, may I have a motion to approve the agenda? Thank you, Councillor Alto, seconded by Councillor Andrew. I will note for the public that you can see everybody in the chamber who is here with us, and online we have joining the meeting remotely Councillor Thornton Joe. I will also note for Council and the public, this is a relatively short agenda this evening. Our agenda for May 12th is also relatively short. Staff are working very hard behind the scenes to bring a number of projects through to public hearing. So if the agenda seems light for the next couple of weeks, that slack will definitely be filled up in the coming months due to the hard work of staff. So I just wanted to note for the public and council, there is more to come. So if it feels like this meeting and next meeting are short, it's because staff are working hard behind the scenes. We do have a request to address council this evening, and I need a motion to approve the speaker, please. Thank you, Councillor Alto, seconded by Councillor Potts. All those in favour? Any opposed? None opposed. That carries. Just before Mr. Smith comes to the microphone, I will outline for the public why we have speakers here and what the protocol is. So anyone is able to address a meeting of council to speak with us, and we welcome anyone to do so at any time. For the speakers, you have 5 minutes to speak with us. There is time on the clock. When you get to 1 minute, the clock will turn yellow, and we get to 0 minutes, the clock will turn red. And that is a cue to wrap up your remarks. For members of the public, for the member of the public speaking this evening, this isn't an opportunity for a back and forth between yourself and council, but it is an opportunity for us to listen to you. And we do have your contact information. So if there's anything that you share this evening that council wishes to follow up with you about, we have your information to do so. So I will invite you forward to take the microphone, and we're here to listen.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you very much, Mayor and Council. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. It's always a pleasure to be here. My name is Ted Smith. My name is Ted Smith. I live at 1375 Fisher Road, but I'm representing the Victoria Cannabis Buyers Club tonight on Johnson Street. I'm here tonight to essentially ask for the next step in the exemption process that we've engaged in with Health Canada. As Mayor and Council know, we've got quite the battle with the higher powers over the legitimacy of our organization. And last year, we submitted an exemption that the Mayor and Council supported, and we greatly appreciate that. We've now had a meeting with Health Canada, our first one, where they were asking questions about our operation and our intentions on how we wish to transition into the legal system. It really comes down to the 10 milligram THC limit that Health Canada has put on their products. Essentially, it is such a small dosage of THC that our patients find it unacceptable, and that's why we've been essentially forced to stay open. For example, we have a lot of patients that use 1,000 milligrams a day to fight cancer. We have suppositories that have 250 milligrams of THC in them. That would be 25 suppositories 4 times a day for a cancer patient if they were to use what's legally available, let alone the prices. And so, given that, and given the just intensity of the opioid crisis, it seems absurd to remove the services that we're providing under any circumstances, which is why we're holding our ground very firmly. And so to assist in Health Canada granting the exemption, we would essentially like some clarification from the city sent to Health Canada, clarifying that the city understands and appreciates that this is in the public interest, because our application to Health Canada is based on the merits of the public interest of the application. We're not a scientific organization or doing research. We're operating within the public interest. And Health Canada is really concerned about our ability to be compliant with the exemption and upon our intentions in getting that. And so if the city was willing to help, I guess, clarify that this is in the public interest and that you believe, as I hope you do, that it is our intention to be as cooperative as possible with every level of government upon receiving this exemption to become fully compliant. Because the real problem would be over our supply initially. There is nowhere to buy 10 milligram or higher than that dosage products, and once receiving the exemption, we would have to still continue to work in the illegal market until we were able to get our facility fully operational and compliant. And so there is some issues, to be sure, but we really do fully intend on working with the government as much as possible upon receiving this exemption. Although honestly, we don't think that the managers of the office in Health Canada have it within their powers to do this. So we do expect to know. But at that point, we will be going to court, which has been our savior all along, which is what we've been preparing to do. And also, to fight the fine that you may have heard of, I'm not sure. But we certainly do intend upon arguing that this 10 milligram limit is unconstitutional and cannot be justified in science. In fact, recently we've gotten a letter of support from all of the major drug policy researchers in British Columbia, because they understand that we are an essential harm reduction service. So we have the full support of the scientific community, and we would hope to have the continued support of council. So I will be discussing with some individual councillors about the letter. I realize we can't have a discussion here, but it is something that would be very helpful towards us getting this exemption, whether it's through the administrative process or the legal process. Again, thank you very much, Mayor and Council.
Thank you very much, and thanks for working with individual councillors, because it would be a motion of council that would need to come forward. So really appreciate the ropes for sure, and thanks for coming this evening. We move on now to our one and only hearing this evening. Is actually an opportunity for public comment with respect to a temporary use permit at 320 Cook Street and 1075 Pendergast Street. The process this evening will be first to hear from...
Yeah, you can kill that now.
Yes.
And unmute yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
So, little bit into what Ted's doing, and Ted's trying to get the backing of Vancouver City Council to help with his fight.
Well, I wish him luck. He certainly is not going to back down.
They already know they're going to have to go to court to fight this out, but they've got to go through all of the hoops before it actually gets there.
The city has to make it look like they're at least listening.
Yeah, I mean, the city's already supported him. They fully support what he's doing because they know it's helping out the residents in their city. The problem is with Health Canada, they only see the black and white paperwork that they design.
That's right. And Health Canada are the ones that, as far as cannabis goes anyways, are in control of the law enforcement.
But not just that, Al. They don't see cannabis as a medicine, so they'll never.
Health Canada will not recognize cannabis as a medical substance.
And because the police work the way they do, they work within the law, and this is the law, and that's how they're going to do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
hey, oh, sorry, Marcel. Go ahead, then I'll say something there.
yeah. So this is why it'll end up in the courts, because that's the only recourse. So legally, if they were just giving out cookies, brownies, things like that,
it would qualify as gifting.
It's not a matter of that. That's already, even before legalization came out, that was made legal with the Smith ruling.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not even a matter of gifting, because in that ruling, you can sell those products. The only thing that wasn't exempted was dried flour. Right? So because the Smith ruling was more concentrates than dried flour, because it was baking. If they were supplying just that, then there would be no recourse. But people also want dried flour.
Sorry, I had to mute Darcy.
Why? Because he was farting again?
Yeah, he was farting again. Yeah.
No, I was being loud because I just finished up rolling.
Oh, I haven't stopped rolling. I'm up to 22 so far.
Continue your story.
No, that was it.
Oh.
If they'd stuck to concentrate products like cookies, edibles, capsules, suppositories, things like that for persons with medical need, then there's the law can't touch them.
Really?
Now, what I was going to say was, the last 2 days, the RCMP have been just sitting off of reserve, stopping cars coming from the dispensaries here.
Of course they are.
Yeah, they do that. They do that now and then. You'll see the OPP outside standing in front of new stores.
And letting people know that they are in possession of illicit cannabis.
But you know why they do that? Because it's easier than going out and actually solving real crimes.
But are they actually confiscating? Because I know that I had friends that are native, and they were at the reservation getting smokes. They left the res because they bought like more than 5 cartons or whatever. They got questioned, and even though they were they had ID stating that they were native, they still confiscated them because they took them off the reservation.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's what they're doing here.
Now
that was cannabis off the reservation.
That was about 5 years ago. Okay, I mean, I see them going through Alderville all the time. I see them sitting there just at the beginning of the First Nations sign and at the other end. Sometimes, like I said, you'll see them if a new store opens, they'll go park right in front to intimidate. But for the most part, they drive through Alderville, and that's all they do. You know, they have their own police force. They have a security force that they use there.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
they're
almost
more protecting.
Every reserve has
more
their own
protecting
police
the grows, I think, than anything. But yeah.
But now we have one of our reserves in Nova Scotia that's actually putting in a legal cannabis store.
There's another reserve in Nova Scotia right now that is getting ready to set up a legal cannabis grow.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's them becoming an LP.
Well,
yes.
You know, we've had these conversations with Tim Barnhart at Legacy 420, who's on the Tanganyika reservation and our territory, as they call it, and he's been harassed over the years.
Oh yeah. It's a slippery slope, because the none of the Indigenous people were consulted on the Cannabis Act.
Originally.
They
are being included now, though.
A little late.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Because now you've got some reserves got 15, 20 dispensaries on them. There
are, I believe, 18 dispensaries on the Green Mile, which is Alderville, Roseneath area, Ontario. Mm-hmm. They call it the Green Mile. And there's a few new stores that have been opening and a lot of new homes being built, which is great to see, you know.
Right.
If you live within an hour and a half of a reservation, go for a Sunday drive. Get yourself some tax-free weed and some tax-free gas. I filled up my car for $100, and I got 2 ounces for $110. Where you can't do that in the city. Okay, so I mean, usually I think most city centers are within an hour or two drive to a reservation. That's about right, eh, Marcel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for there.
And I think most as far as First Nations goes, most First Nations reservations have cannabis and smokes and gas. And they're spread out all over Canada.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
I would say it's an hour's drive for me to get to the closest one. Darcy's 5 minutes.
Yeah,
about 5 minutes. Yeah,
I'm an hour. I'm an hour and a half. Well, I say an hour and 15 minutes, and then I'm just 10 minutes from there. My farm's 10 minutes from Alderville, so yeah, I'm close, real close.
You
can smell the weed in the air with poop.
Yeah.
With poop.
Yeah, it does matter. Everything that, in regards to legalization, everything about it was done wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with what we started with and where we're at now, going in almost 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, longer, because it was June. Right? Was it July 17th that legalization?
No, October.
October. Oh, okay. I thought it was July. Why am I thinking what happened in July?
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
7/10. 7/10.
7/10. Oh, look who's back. Shh. Don't look at her.
Look at that. She come back just for the grow segment. That's awesome. Thank you.
She had to finish her sandwich in peace.
I had to
drive to my last destination.
Her last destination boyfriend pickup.
Oh, I'm so tired. What a day.
Yeah.
I gotta get up early. I'm going to bed right away.
Yeah.
So Al, this is how we grow the weed.
Okay, this is how we grow the weed.
Where's the song?
Oh, we already played it.
Play it again. I missed it.
Me too.
I can't play just. Oh, yes, I can.
These needy people.
Oh, Jesus! Always asking me to do shit, and I don't have it set up.
Do it.
Do it.
How we grow the
But
weed.
I have to wait for it to load.
Yeah, we don't need it now. MJ just did it.
We already played it. Played it.
So, what I'm going to talk about. And on comes the camera. Oh.
Good evening. Oh, just kidding.
No, actually, what I was going to talk about was outdoor grow checklist, because now is getting to the time where you can start hardening off your plants. But what I mean by that is sitting them out for a couple hours a day, not totally in direct sun, because you don't want to bake the poor little bastards. Sit them out there and harden them off, just what it said, because you got to remember they're coming from a so-called perfect indoor growing environment to outdoors where things are a little different. Mother Nature controls the environment out there, not you in your grow tent or in your grow room. So I was just going to give a little grow checklist, because you're also going to need to have stuff, a big pot to put them plants into when you put them out, unless they're already in big pots. But most people are going with little clones like this.
I thought you were going to say a big pot to piss in.
Yeah. No. Big people, like that one there needs to be transplanted. I got these plants
Here, let
today.
me make you bigger. Let me make you bigger. We can all see it. There we go.
So I got these clones today from a good friend of mine.
And what are they?
This one here is Temple Zittles by Ethos Seeds.
Temple Zittles?
Yep.
Never heard of it.
And then this one here is Cocoa by Pacific Northwest Roots. It's a 65-day flowering. And then this one here is Zombie Breath by Trinity Genetics. It's 9 weeks, and I love the little notes he writes on it. This plant will stretch and flower, and it's a purple pheno. So I'm gonna have that bitch turning crazy colors.
You gonna put these outside or inside?
No, I'm gonna flower these indoors.
Okay.
I'm gonna grow them out for mothers and cut some clones off them. But that cocoa is an awesome one for outdoors. I was told the last 2 years they grew it outdoors, and it turned out awesome. So I'm kind of excited for it to see what it turns out like. So I'm gonna get it a little bigger and cut 1 or 2 clones off it and drive them outdoors. But so you want to harden them little suckers off by sticking them outdoors for a couple hours a day when it's nice out. Obviously, if the temperature is below 10 degrees, do not stick your plants outside, because if they die, I'm not getting in trouble for your plants dying. You got to look at the weather, play the weather. When you have a week of straight 10-degree nighttime temperatures, and you see that coming up in the long-range forecast, you can start leaving your plants outside overnight.
I wouldn't do it now either, because I noticed pretty much every morning there was a big dew on the lily.
I got mine. I got 4 of mine outside. They've been outside for the last two nights. So.
One morning, it looked like it had snowed. It was frosty.
But it was also 16 degrees here when I woke up this morning.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, I know. It was 26 here. It was 20. I think the highest it got to was 28 up at the farm last week. So.
The only thing that'll really happen, because I've really never had frost ever hurt my plants, because the sun never really hits them first thing in the morning, so it has a time to melt off the leaf before it really has a chance to damage it too much.
The issue, if I remember correctly, the issue is the dew gets on the leaves, and then the sun comes up and it bakes them.
It's exactly what happens. But if you have them plants in the shade till, say, 10 o'clock in the morning...
It's like a magnifying glass.
Yes. But if you have them in the shade till 10 o'clock in the morning, the air temperature warms up enough to melt it off the leaf before the sun hits it. So, but yeah, so I've got mine outdoors now, harden them up. But
Marijane, if you turn your volume down just a little bit, we're not going to hear us.
Sorry,
that's okay. It's just reverbing. That's all. It does it in the car, unfortunately.
Reverbing. Is that what it's called?
No.
So yeah, so that's how you can harden your plants off right now, is by doing that.
Okay.
But then you're going to want to transplant them if they're not already in big pots. So
I also remember that last year Marcel said to go out and shake them before the sun comes up. You go out and shake your plants before the sun comes up.
Yeah, shake the dew off them.
Yeah.
Shake dew off them.
Yeah.
Right now, when they're in veg, look for powder mildew, obviously. You should always look your plants over, because that's going to be your biggest threat outside right now to your little clones. Just on the season change, you might get a little powder starting if you don't have adequate airflow and that dew lays on them. But if you have adequate airflow, then you don't really have to worry about that.
It's kind of like going to bed without washing your penis after sex.
Yes, exactly. It's dewy and yucky and gross.
Look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face.
Yeah, I didn't even see my face. Darcy, it'll be well after the 22nd before you can put your plants out. Dun 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 dun. Dun. Because on the 22nd, your temperatures overnight are going down to 8.
I noticed that the reservations, the dispensaries in Alderville, they're all already selling clones. But I also heard conversations, which I enjoyed hearing, like, we've got lots of clones right now, but if you don't have a good light, don't buy them until the first week in June. Then you can just put them right out.
It's a good rule of thumb, yes.
Yeah. So I liked hearing that. They weren't just trying to sell. That was at Mary Jane's, by the way, in Alderville. And they're not just trying to sell you plants. They said, hey, now wait a minute. Unless you have a grow inside, wait.
Just to clarify, it's not my place in Alderville.
No, but you go there.
No.
You've been there.
I don't. I have been there, but
Yeah.
I don't go there.
Yeah.
I have a reserve that's even closer to me.
Yeah, no, I know that. I mean, what I meant is you've been in there. You know where I'm talking about.
Yeah. But what I must say, if you're going to be getting clones or cuttings or, from other people, whether you're getting it from a dispensary, a friend, or whatever, can you please at least know what powdery mildew looks like so that way you don't buy yourself something that's going to be shit in the end and you're starting with a shit product?
Yeah.
I go into some of these dispensaries and I don't even want to, you walk in the door, Darcy, and while waiting in line, now I'm brushing up against a clone that has got powdery mildew on it.
Yeah.
Well, it's in.
I have a fucking garden at home. I don't want that. What the fuck?
Here's the thing, though. Just remember this, MJ. If it's on the plant, it's in the room, in the air.
I know. That's the thing, man.
It's sticking to your hair. It's sticking to your clothes. Then you don't know if that plant had bugs.
And
so
every person.
That's why I'm like, be careful if you're getting cuttings from people.
Every person that goes into that store comes in with something on their clothing.
Of course you
do. And if there's a spore or something like that gets on the plants. Now, what I would suggest is to utilize a place that has their plants outside. Don't.
I call it clean technique, Al.
Yeah.
Practice clean technique. When you bring the plant home,
wash it.
You get a shower and
stick your
treat the plant. So you can get a good 2-in-1 Safer's product that will treat for bugs and powder.
Yeah.
Spray it, set it outdoors.
The good thing though, Darcy. Okay. Going to a dispensary, you do have a certain amount of recourse. Because if you buy all your plants at the same place and they're all shit, you have a recourse of going back and saying, "Hey, look, here's my receipt. I paid for these. Look at this crap." Right?
Are you sure?
No, but like any other store that you still have that recourse. You have that ability to do that. Whereas with mail order, you don't.
I don't think if you went to the thing, especially with a grower, it doesn't matter if it's legal, illegal, gray market, legal market. If you say, look, I'm not happy with the end product, it was shit, they're going to be like, well, what did you do? Because there's so many ways that you can fuck up that process.
Of course.
Oh, definitely.
Of course. Yes. There's always an excuse that somebody else is going to use.
Seed companies, I can't tell you how many times people would come back and be like, oh, none of the seeds popped. And we're like, okay, so how did you do it? And then they tell you how they did it. And you're like, no wonder why no fucking seeds popped. It's your fault.
Yeah. Customer's not always right, but they should.
No. But you can't blame them every time either.
My point is if you go to Sweet Leaf in Alderville and they've got a tent full of plants out there and you take your plants home and they all have rickets, and there's gonna be some kind of hey, at least there should be.
Another good way to check your plants, MJ, is take your flashlight on your phone
and look really close.
Hold it up underneath the leaf. You'll see the little black dots.
You'll see the eggs
there.
Yeah.
You'll see eggs. You'll see adults. You'll see everything.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, and it's just a cheap, ineffective way if you don't have a scope.
But you know what you won't see?
Anything in the soil.
Fungus gnats.
Yeah, because they're in the soil.
Exactly.
You can see fungus gnats in the soil. Just dig the top little layer of soil.
Yeah, they'll come alive in a hurry.
Okay, so I'm going into a dispensary. What am I looking for, and what am I not looking for? How's that?
Well, first thing you want to make sure your clones are good, healthy green, no deficiencies in them, like no little red spots on the leaves or brown rusty spots or the
yellow. No yellow.
So a dark leafy green.
Good healthy green like this, MJ.
Could be a light green too.
Okay. It could be. I have one.
Brown red.
Yeah, I have a strain in the bedroom that I gave Marcel a clone of, and he loves it. Well, he wants to see how the plant grew, and he loves the color of it.
It's a lighter green.
It's variegated.
And it's a variegated leaf, so it looks kind of cool. But
whoa! What's What's variegated?
Two tones.
Can you,
So you-
can you get a photo of that over the next week? I want to see that.
I'll go grab a leaf for you right now.
Yeah, go grab a leaf and show her.
Yep.
But that clone that I got from Darcy, and I got another clone the same day from somebody else. Those are in quarantine because I can't have them with my other plants, which I know are clean and ready to go.
So you did quarantine them?
I always do. It's not that I don't trust them. I just don't trust anybody.
Well, I mean, anything can happen. I'm
That's
pretty
right.
sure the fungus gnats came in the medium that I purchased.
Yeah, but because I had these two clones together, I didn't have to separate them for quarantine, so I didn't have to set up two different quarantines because those two can stay together. They both got treated. Now I'm just waiting for roots to finish popping, and then I'll transplant them. By the time I transplant them, they'll be safe to go with the rest of my plants. Just good housekeeping before you have to fight a problem.
Well, you don't reuse the same pots unless you wash them out. Things like that, right?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't use those cloth bags again unless I rinse them out, right?
Why?
Can I reuse the dirt as well?
It depends on your dirt. I mean, there's a lot of people that say yes, you can reuse your dirt, but is there nutrients in your dirt, or are you using like a soil as medium?
Yeah,
If you're using a soil as medium, then you could reuse that again. I would flush it.
And I want to feed at least 3 times a week.
Well, you would. I would think that you would reactivate it and put something else in it and add stuff.
There was nothing. His soil as medium has nothing in it. See the 2 different colors in that leaf, MJ?
Oh, that's beautiful.
But see how perfect them leaves grow?
Yeah.
Right, let me make it
Well,
big.
what
Hang
says-
on. Do
Make
it
them
again.
big. Show it again, Darcy.
Do it again, Darcy.
Yeah, I will. So that's one.
But that's so tiny, but it's oh.
That's from the same plant.
Yep.
Different sides.
So I've had leaves.
Are
that
they different
half
sides,
the leaf is
or-
green and half the leaf is yellow. I've had one that half the leaf was green and half of it was white.
Yeah, they grow anywhere between 9 and 11 fingered leaves in there, MJ.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but the leaves don't get overly big. There's just a lot of leaves that size, and a lot of shoots in there on that plant, man. Holy crap! I bet you I could cut 200 clones off that, and you wouldn't even be able to tell.
What strain's that, Darcy?
That's that raspberry beret.
Raspberry beret.
Right.
7 East Genetics, right in Ontario.
Who's that guy beside your car there, Mary Jane?
I don't know.
Ask him if he's listening to the 420 radio show.
There's no guy there.
Oh, well. Guess he's
I'm waiting for a guy.
She's picking up a Timmy. She's at Timmy's.
You know, if you're standing on the corner, you'd probably pick up more guys.
Oh, Marcel, you just.
Well, I mean,
we're gonna have to
She
have
said
a
she
board
was there to
meeting
pick
now. After that,
She said she was there to pick up a guy. Go to the street corner and take your pick.
Yeah, but the problem is nobody wants to pay my prices.
You don't know that.
That's right.
There's some weirdos out there, girl.
Nobody's rich enough. My point is, nobody around here has the money.
Oh, shit.
But
I'm
that's
gonna
true, though.
do it.
There's some weirdos out there, man. A
Okay,
fucking girl
Darcy.
a girl on. I was reading a BuzzFeed fucking thing when I was shitting the other day on the toilet, and fucking this one guy paid $50,000 for a pair of girls' underwear. $50,000.
Is that part of your checklist?
Can you send me that article? I'll find that guy.
You should, because you bet you get fucking at least 30.
Well, I'm just going to put it out there to all the viewers. If you have a proposition, send it to me. I'll give you a price. We'll work a deal.
I want to hear the checklist, and we only got like 10 minutes left.
They already made a movie about stuff like that, Mary Jane, and it was with Robert Redford.
Yeah, but I'm not making money off it.
No, well.
Okay, checklist.
So, pots or dishes, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. I go to Canadian Tire and buy 100 or 140 liter storage totes. That's what I like to use, the black ones or the blue ones. That's what I use because 4 plants, bigger plant, bigger root system, bigger plant, more bud. It's just.
How many plants per tote?
1.
Okay.
Just 1. Just 1. Now, before, back in my old days when I was young and stupid, I likely would have jammed 4 plants in that tote. But not
I know
anymore.
a lot of people that do that, but
that's
why I asked.
You can if you're living in a city or a town, and all you got the little area, and you want to grow a plant on your deck, and you want to grow your 4 plants, shove all 4 plants in there, man.
That would work very well if you were scrogging, though.
Yeah, and you know you can still get a pound or 2 out of it, right? I had 1 plant on my doorstep that was growing in with my hollyhocks, my lilies, and some canna lilies, and I still got 120 grams off that plant. And it was only 4 feet tall, Marcel?
Yep.
About that? Yeah, and you couldn't tell it was there until the last week because it started to turn a totally different color than all the green around it, and then it stuck out. So then it's chop time. So
yes, hello.
But
I'd like to report a woman sitting in a car smoking cannabis in a parking lot. Yes.
He just ratted her out. What a nice guy.
By the way, MJ, when they roll up, just keep smoking.
You got your pots. What else you need?
So then you're going to need some dirt to put in it, whether it's garden soil from your garden. You go to the store and buy some soil. Then you're going to then that's a whole another kettle of fish, because then are you buying soil with nutrients in it, or are you buying soil that is just soilless medium, meaning there's no nutrient value to it whatsoever. So if you don't feed it, the plant is not going to grow. Where if you bought a soil like a kryptonite soil or Blue Sky Organics super soil, it's already fed with a lot of nutrients and microbes and everything like that. All you have to do is add water.
And shake?
So, what's that?
And shake?
And shake in the morning for dew, yes. But yeah, so when it comes to soil, that's...
Hold on. Mary Jane's joking. Just a second.
She muted herself.
Al, you're number 1.
You are number 1, Al.
I'm number 1.
So once you have your soil, once you have your soil picked out, and your pot size, which I would recommend going with at least a 3-gallon pot for outdoors. I really recommend 10 gallons or bigger. But if you're in a tight area like a town or a city and you're just growing on your deck, 3-gallon pot will still give you a nice sized plant. So.
And if you're someone like me, then you go with 50 to 45, 50-gallon pots.
I had various different sizes last year, and I did.
And did you know?
I did see the difference. Yes.
Exactly right.
Oh, yeah.
Bigger root system, bigger plant.
Yeah.
Means more bud. I mean, yes, you can still grow a nice sized plant in a small pot. You're just feeding it a lot and watering it a lot and taking care of it.
And if you train it right, you can do whatever you want, really.
Yeah,
you can grow a big plant or a big bud. I'll just say a big bud in a solo cup.
Sorry, Mary Jane.
It's called the Solo Cup Challenge.
Yeah, I was just thinking about
challenge.
Yeah, I legit was just thinking about that because, it's a challenge to see in the same cup size, right?
Yeah. Everybody grows 1 plant in 1 solo cup from seed, and whoever gets the biggest bud wins. And I mean, it's nothing for somebody to put a solo cup out and grow a beer can sized bud.
Well, my uncle, I didn't believe him, God rest his soul. He said, I grew a 100-gram plant in an apple juice can, and I called it bullshit until I walked behind his house one day and seen the fucking plant in the apple juice can.
Yep.
You're just watering it a lot and feeding it a lot. Because you got to remember, that's a small root base, right? Basically, there's no soil left in there. It's just all roots.
Right. So you're watering 3 times a day and feeding it every second day.
Yep. Where Marcel's in the big pots, he's feeding once a week and watering, twice a week, Marcel?
Yeah. Depending on, in August, it could be 3 times a week. But this year I'm going to overfeed.
Yep.
For the first little while, so I'm going to feed every second day.
And let them try to get them big and bushy, and then slack off coming on to flower.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then back heavy. Then flip them and then back heavy again and flower.
I was worried that I was going to overfeed them, and I think that's something that a newbie does right off the bat.
I find outdoors, Al, especially if you know you got a week of rain and you just went and you overfed that plant.
It'd be hard to overfeed them, I guess.
It is if you have a week of rain coming up and you just went out there and you said, "Oh fuck, I overfed it."
Yeah.
No, because that water is going to, yes, run over and pour some water on it to dilute it, but the rain water is going to wash that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, outdoor growing is a lot more forgiving
than indoor
growing. When it comes to watering and nutrients and things like that. I'll purposely take my plants and let them dry out, like the pots dry out.
So they're almost sucking in on the sides, Marcel?
I've always been told that that's a good thing to do with any plant.
Yeah, so I've always done it with any plant. Let them dry out and then give them a good flooding and then go back to a regular schedule again.
Yeah.
I find
because
soil, though.
In nature, they don't have a feeding and watering schedule.
That's right.
They get what's in the ground.
Right? They get what they can take. So if you kind of treat it similar to how it would grow in nature, you tend to get a much happier plant out of it.
You do. You really do, right? But
it's a lot more tolerant to things too, because you've built up a lot of strength in it.
You did. But so another thing on my list, it was after pots and dirt, is food. Well, obviously that plant needs food because it's in a pot. So you got to feed it something so it'll grow better for you. So what's that going to be? Is it going to be a powdered nutrient, or is it going to be a liquid nutrient? Then again, is it going to be all organic, or is it going to be synthetic, or is it going to be semi-synthetic organic?
There's a lot of ores there.
There is. Yeah. Well, there's so many. There's so many out now. Well, like now, for example, I grow autoflowers outdoors. Now MJ just picked up a card for a nutrient that's specifically designed for autoflowers. So do I go, do me as a new person in growing go with this nutrient? Or do I wait and go with that nutrient after I get my first crop under my belt?
Yeah. No Miracle Grow. You're right there.
But yeah, no Miracle Grow. No, definitely don't use Miracle Grow. Friends, don't let friends use Miracle Grow.
For anything.
I use it for my flowers.
You can use it for your flowers.
I only use Miracle Grow for flowers.
But I would never use Miracle Grow for anything that I was going to consume, like tomatoes or anything like that.
Never. No, that's why I got a 220-liter jug of back guano outside. I just throw some of that on top of the soil, and the tomatoes grow like crazy.
I thought back guano was illegal in Canada.
What are you talking about? What back guano?
What? That's chicken shit over there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. So after you pick a food, then you're going to pick a location. So now you got all your stuff ready. You're ready to put it outside. You got it all hardened up. Now, are you going for a walk for a location? Guerrilla style to the woods? Or are you planting it in your backyard?
It's all fenced and secure.
Yes. Remember, always plant on the south side of your yard if you can, because you'll get more sun that way.
Somebody's torching.
Fuck was that?
Somebody's got a torch.
Know. I heard that too.
I did too.
I heard a torch.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
Well, I'm talking, so it can't be me.
It can't be. It can't be MJ. She's sitting in her car. She wouldn't be there right now.
We were hacked.
Did she fart?
Oh no, I would have took credit. You would have.
Dun, dun, dun.
You know, it's interesting, Darcy, is you're talking about locations. One thing my friend did not think of when growing her crop in the summer was, so there's a building that was next door to her that had a parking lot with lights that come on every night.
Okay,
so when her
Thank you.
plants got too tall and the light shone over the fence, the top of the plants didn't actually fully mature.
I'm glad you brought that up, actually, MJ, because that was something else I was gonna bring up. If you live in a town or a city where streetlights are, try to stick it in the darkest spot in your yard where the street light is not shining, if you can. If you can't, bring them into your porch every night.
Will solar lights do the same thing?
No, Al.
Okay.
I'm not outdoors. You got to remember, you got stars, you got you got a moon, right?
But you don't want a street light right above your plants.
Well,
Ideally, no.
I recommend no. But here's the thing: I have a plant always grows out in the front of my house every year for some strange reason. You'd think someone was dumping stuff there, and I always get these mystery seeds that pop up out of the ground. Well, I got 3 this year, and the street light is directly, I want to say, on a 45-degree angle to the west from these plants, and once they get over 3 feet tall, the light shines on them all the time. Well, they flowered completely fine last year, and I'm trying to wonder why. Because any other year that I've ever had the one in the backyard by the street light, it would never flower properly. So it's always a good rule of thumb to try to stick it in the dark.
You would think that they would be fine because people actually use those bulbs to grow.
Yes, but it'll keep you in veg.
Yeah, the plant was flowering, and then when it reached a certain height,
everything underneath. Yep.
Yeah.
I had one branch on a plant. No, 2 branches on a plant, on 2 separate plants. So it was one branch on each plant in my grow room. I just finished growing, and they were right in front of the heat pump. And on the heat pump is this little tiny, I'm going to say the size of a pinhead, a white light, and then the number 65 or whatever the temperature is will light up. And it's white, but I didn't think it was bright enough to bother them. And the plants were flowering beautiful and nice big buds on it. And then I walked in there one day and I just happened to spin the plant, and I noticed the one branch that was right by the light went back into veg. And I was like, I wonder if it's that there's that much light on that branch would make that trigger back into flower, because the rest of the plants, you got colas on it the size of bottles, and now it's got a bud that big.
Yep.
So just a little bit of light will do it. I covered it up with tape, and it swelled out and grew fine. But yeah, it was just weird how.
Yeah, so it might mean going outside in your backyard at nighttime as well.
Look on his face.
Yep. Look.
It was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
What they do?
Oh, that was a horrible one. Sorry.
All right, that was a bad one, and it's quitting time.
Yeah.
Must be close, yeah.
It is close. So I may be turning all of this shit on tomorrow when it lifts. We'll see.
Tomorrow or Sunday?
Or Sunday, maybe. Sunday.
I'm thinking if I can make a suggestion,
yeah.
I would go tomorrow. There's going to be nothing left come Sunday.
Oh, I'm not going for anything.
Well, go
I
get
just
what
want
you
to
can.
see you tomorrow. I tried to see you today, but you were like, no.
You wouldn't even let her come to your house.
No.
I know.
I haven't been home in a fucking week, dude.
Yeah, well,
You
she
know
would have
what?
cleaned.
I messaged Marcel and told him, hey, I'm like half an hour from your house. He's like, sure, come on over.
Okay, say goodnight.
Good night, kids.
Have a good weekend, guys.
I'll text you tomorrow, Mary Jane. I'll let you
Hasta
know.
la vista.
I'm going to text you, Marcel.
Night, guys.
You can text me or call me, Darcy.
I'm going to text you a list.
Oh, okay.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.